Hey guys, what is up? So this shirt is clean, but I realized there's a stain on here and I don't know what the heck happened. I must have stained it, washed it, and the stain didn't come out. So if you see it, I'm just going to point it out, because I just realized it when I looked at myself in the camera and I was like, what the heck? And I don't have time to change. So anyway, I don't know what it is, but okay. If you're in the room, go ahead and say hello so I can give you a shout out. So there's quite a few people in here already. Callie, Luke, Diaz, Henry, Charles, Tobin, Fort Walton Beach Girl, Gokai, Yura, Nat, thank you guys so much for being here. Fabian, Laurent, wow, Fabian's here for the first time since last year. Thank you for being here. Janik from Germany, Brianna, Wit Dog, Nick and William, Alexa, Epic Gummy Bear. So many people here. Thank you guys so much for being here. So much is going on with American Horror Story, from the controversy about editing out part of this week's episode and just what is actually going on within the story. I feel like we have so much to talk about. But I uploaded 2 videos since last night's episode, and the first one was just my normal reaction and review of the episode. And I also talked a lot about my thoughts about them editing part of the opening scene. And then this morning I watched the unedited version. I watched that on FX Now, which is the FX app. A lot of people have asked me about that. But apparently that is not available outside the US, or maybe just outside the US and Canada. So a lot of people have asked me where can they find the unedited version, and I unfortunately don't know. A couple people have posted some links that I haven't checked out in the comment section, so you could look there. Some people have said that there are some YouTube channels who have posted it. That is very much against YouTube's rules, so I don't know how long that will be up, but if you catch it quickly, maybe you can watch it if you are not able to watch on the app. Yes, I was the shooter. Meadow definitely wasn't a shooter. Allie wasn't the shooter. It was me. Nick says that Evan's a better actor than Sarah. Well, Evan is definitely the huge star of this season, but, he's been a big star in every single season, but he's really, really good. I mean, he's amazing. I feel like sometimes Sarah just plays like the same role, which is like the person who's losing her mind. I feel like she's that person a lot. Like, she was definitely that person last week. So if you saw my video where I talked about my latest theory, I've gotten quite a few comments about this going both ways, and that was that Rudy does not know what is going on with the cult. And I would love to know, some people have told me that they had proof that he is involved. So what is your proof? I would love to hear it, because I don't think the show has given us any concrete proof that he is involved. I think they definitely want us to believe he's involved, and I don't think he is. I actually have a lot more things to support the fact that he isn't. But something I did mention in my video, because there was just so much to mention last night, was the fact that we finally had the confirmation of who is Oz's actual birth mother. And that, of course, is Allie. And that is something that makes Ivy very, very jealous, because she was unable to have a child of her own. But Ivy has just turned out to be one of the, if not the worst person of the entire season, because she basically hates Allie because she wasn't able to have her own child. And I don't even know, like, I understand, I guess she doesn't want to divorce her because she knows she can't get full custody of Ozzy, but with the divorce, she still would have had visiting rights, I'm pretty sure. So, like, I don't really understand all of this crap that she's going through, killing people and all of this stuff, just because she wants to get away from her wife. She's in kind of a predicament here, as we saw last night, because she didn't really want to go along with Kai. But the thing is, he knows that she was part of the kidnapping of Gary, and he will definitely turn her in or do something to her. And now that she's involved with him, she's definitely dead if she betrays him in any way. And I also have a feeling that a lot of the people involved in the cult, if not all, will be dead by the end of the season anyway, because we know Kai doesn't care about any of them. So I'm going to read the comments now. Janik says, you think Ivy will tell the police that Allie is innocent? It seemed like it in the end. I think maybe she will, but I don't think it's going to happen next week. Also, next week, we see the return of Frances Conroy, who looks like she's a pretty interesting character, so we'll have to see what's up with that. But I also saw a lot of people in the promo who I did not recognize, new actresses, and I'm wondering if we're getting into the the episodes where they're going to start having the actual serial killers like Charles Manson and the deal with Leah Dunham or Lena Dunham. We'll have to see. Ralph says Kai was going to call an ambulance for his parents' bodies, but Rudy stopped him and instructed him otherwise. Well, that is what we saw based on what he told Beverly. That was a memory that he supposedly had, but it was a flashback that definitely could have been fabricated. So I don't feel like that's any type of proof because we don't know, you know, if that actually happened or if that was just the lie that he told Beverly. So, whoops, I need to turn down my volume. Sorry about that. Tobin thinks the whole birth mother thing was kind of in bad taste because it's sort of a stigmatized question in the LGBTQ community. It doesn't really matter. They're just parents. Well, I mean, I think it just made everyone hate Ivy even more. I really didn't even know, and I think a lot of people question, like, were either one of those people his birth mother, which it doesn't really matter. And so many people assumed that it was Ivy because he kind of looks like her. But, you know, for her, she obviously has some super issues. I mean, to be that angry with her wife for having the baby, like if that was going to be such a big deal, why didn't they just adopt or something? Because she knew she wasn't going to be able to carry the baby. So I just think she has so many issues. Christian says maybe he did kill them. Yeah, I'm still not believing the whole story about Kai's parents, how they died, you know, the mom shooting the dad. And then I don't even know if I believe the dad was abusive. You know, Kai is a master manipulator. And I know that, why can't I think of his name, but the guy who plays Rudy, Cheyenne, is usually always a villain in every season. But, I mean, I think they've tried really hard and they, you know, to make him look guilty. And I don't know why, if he is a part of the cult, since they've revealed everyone else, why don't they, you know, and they want us to think he's in the cult, why does he not come to the meetings? Why haven't we seen him on the phone with Kai or Winter or someone saying, hey, the people just left, hey, this is your opportunity? Why are they omitting that? Like, they're trying hard to make you think Rudy is involved, but they're never proving it. So what's the point? Why wouldn't they just have him at one of the meetings or have him interacting with... I've never seen him interact one time with someone in the cult. Only in the story that Kai told Beverly, which I don't believe. Now, even if it is true and he is part of the cult somehow, I still don't buy the story Kai told Beverly. There's something wrong with that. You know, I don't believe the way his parents died. Fabian says, you're sad that Meadow was bad the whole time and that she died. Yeah, I didn't know if we could trust her or not, but I thought the way that they worked all of that out was really good. I am sad that she died because she's so funny, but I'm hoping that we'll still see her some in flashbacks. Mateo says Frances Conroy is playing the Valerie Solanas. She's playing... Wait a minute, I'm getting confused. Oh, Valerie Solanas in present day, maybe? That's interesting. I didn't know that. Pamela is saying, you know, Kai is clearly doesn't tell the truth. Obviously, I mean, he was giving the same speech to Ivy that he gave to Meadow about how she was so special and she was the most special. And that's what, like, set Meadow off because she heard him giving the same exact speech to another woman. I don't think that Ozzy is connected to the Murder House season, but I've had a lot of people comment that. But I think somehow some people have explained it before. It just doesn't work out. Like, the math doesn't work out. I don't know. Fort Walton Beach says, you think someone should have seen Meadow shooting the gun? I definitely think so. I think somebody will come forward, even if it's just a random person, and say, look, you know, she wasn't the one shooting. Allie took that gun from her. Alexis says, but if the story Kai told Beverly is fake, why do they show us a flashback? Are flashbacks fake too? I mean, because that was what was going on. I know, I've had a couple people question that, but I think, yeah, it could be because it's a lie. When you tell a lie, you have an idea of how it went down in your mind. You know what I mean? And I think it's not... I just don't understand why he would be that vulnerable with Beverly and tell her that story. Something about the story, whether it's the Rudy involvement, the parents dying the way they did, or the entire thing is fabricated. If they had shown us in present day Rudy involved and the parents being killed, I would question it. I would think Rudy was there. I would think that was 100% real. But being a flashback scene, which was being told to someone else, which could likely be a lie, I don't think, I don't buy it. So I think there's still definitely some more twists involved here. Mateo says you don't think the therapist is involved because why wouldn't her and Meadow have a legitimate conversation about the plan with Kai for the rally? Yeah, I mean, that was their opportunity for them to be like, oh my God, Allie's so stupid. Or, you know, as soon as she left, there could have been a little scene with them together saying, yeah, whatever. I mean, the other side of that is that maybe he is involved, but the people in the cult have no clue outside of Winter and Kai, which I still don't know. The only reason I would say that is because he's worried about his practice, because he did mention that in the flashback. Maybe he doesn't want these random people who he knows will be killed off to know he's involved or is the main guy or whatever. But we still have this bee imagery. And we actually had Kai mentioning Queen Bee, the actual term, this week. And a lot of people have been wondering, is there a Queen Bee? Which, I mean, I guess it could be, you know, what's his name? Vincent, Rudy. But typically that is a female. So I guess they could flip it around and make it a male. But still, I don't know. I'm hoping for something else. You know, if he is the leader of the cult, that is just far too easy. And I know they've made a lot of stuff super easy and super on the surface. But they've also had some really good surprises. So I just think there's more to that. Marissa says you originally thought Ozzy was the kid from Murder House because it was the devil incarnate, but now it just seems like an oddly driven cult, nothing supernatural. Yeah, and I think that Ryan did an interview saying that there is no supernatural element to this season. Also, I forgot to mention that they also cleared up the vans driving around with the steam, which was just water. I mean, Meadow told everything that Meadow said to to Allie was the truth from how they did the dead birds and all of that. So we know that the people driving around with the vans and the green smoke or whatever is just a hoax, and that is definitely the cult people. So we have all those, you know, basically everything that or a lot of the things that we've been wondering was answered in last night's episode, which they've done a really good job of answering stuff in every episode with a few surprises. Green water, yeah, something like that. They called it water. It's just like, you know, hydrogen. So now we know what that is. Alexis says, after 6 episodes, not a single bee. Are bees part of an upcoming twist? Possibly. I mean, we have seen Harrison with we haven't actually seen the insect, the bee. We saw him, you know, messing around with the bees in his backyard in the beekeeper suit and everything. But as much as all of the imagery for the promos have been related to bees, it's just bizarre that this season really hasn't been about bees, but they keep trying to mention it. And I mean, I feel like every time they put a tweet out or anything, it has an image of something to do with like a beehive or honey or something. And I just find it hard to believe that there is not something more coming with that, because why would that be like all of their promo imagery, all of their social media stuff? I just don't understand. Pamela says, you find it interesting that Kai didn't kill his other opponent but killed the female opponent. I didn't realize he had, who is his other opponent? I can't remember who that is. I mean, he definitely had the guy killed who was in that seat, and so that he would have an availability to run for that seat. I can't remember meeting the other opponent, but I knew once we met her and once she said all the stuff she said to him and she thought she was really cool in the meeting that she was dead. So I wasn't surprised that she was just there for 1 episode. Twilight Zone says, if the doctor's patients are cured, he wouldn't be able to bill them. You think Kai's meds are from the doctor? Okay. All right. Marissa says, you know, people with the phobia of holes, there's a name for that, and I can't remember what that is, who can't watch this season. I have had some comments about people who have been very triggered by some of these episodes there was one particularly that had a lot of hole imagery, and people are saying that they cannot watch it, which, I mean, that's sad for those people who can't. I totally understand, though. Ralph says Ivy letting Allie hide in the bathroom and not ratting her out means she still loves her. Yeah, I mean, I also think that they don't want to kill her because they totally could have killed her. They knew she was in that house. But remember, when Ivy had the conversation with Kai, he was asking if she wanted to murder her, and she was like, no, I just want to make sure she can never have custody of Ozzy. So I think basically they just want her to be put in jail or a mental institution for life and with no chance of ever, you know, being around her son. But that's not going to work, you know. We know that. Mr. ZTV says, the Twisty Clown, I think you're replying to someone else, but Twisty is only in Ozzy's dream. Pamela thinks Kai wants Allie as a partner. So, right. So if you remember, we talked about this a couple times before, but Ryan was quoted in saying that Kai and Allie are like a love story for the ages. It still makes no sense. So I don't really know what happens here. And various things about Allie that a lot of people have speculated that she ends up joining the cult, being the leader of the cult, that she was she knew Kai before all of this, and that's the twist. There's a lot of various theories about what is her involvement, what was her involvement. So I'm not really sure. I'm not ready to come out with a theory about Allie and say, this is how I think it'll go down. I'm sure I will be at some point, but I'm very interested to see how that plays out. Marissa says when Meadow said that Kai chooses you to be in the cult, was that her way of saying Allie wants to join? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, she's going to go to jail. I don't know for how long. Maybe not very long. Maybe, like you said, witnesses and cameras will get her out of jail pretty quickly here. But Michelle says Allie will be the twist and she's the queen. I could also definitely see that. You know, we've seen so much of this episode, so much of the season have been in flashback form. So I guess there's a chance that all of the episode is sort of in the past, or we could just jump forward at the end and show that Allie joined the cult and she's the queen of the cult. I could definitely see that. Fort Walton Beach Girl says you were hoping to see Ivy's face with Allie and the gun in her hand. And we didn't see that. Even in the unedited version, we did not see that. But one thing I will say, and someone commented this on the latest video that I did today, that even though I feel like the unedited version wasn't really that different from what we saw and didn't really change things, someone said what we missed, if you didn't see the unedited version, is a great performance by Allison Pill, where it just definitely seemed her fear in that mass shooting scene seemed very real, and she did an excellent job there. I know her from a show called The Family, which was on ABC, which was a very, very good show that got canceled, and I don't know if you guys know her from anything else. That's the only thing I recognize her from, but I think she's going to do a lot of stuff in the future, and I think this was a great career move for her, and I think that she was excellent in the deleted scenes, so hopefully you get to see them. Yeah, I'm sorry that some people aren't getting the notifications on my channel. I had a big issue with that last night. So I don't know what's up with that. I've contacted YouTube. I think they're having some glitches, but apparently the video that I just uploaded today, most people got it. I noticed people were watching that right away. So yes, Allison Pill, who plays Ivy, did a great job, as Fort Walton Beach Girl says, because she looked so freaked out, but it was very genuine. It was very, very real. Yeah, and Christian's saying the full shooting scene is on YouTube. So I would say if you need to see that, if you're from another country or something and can't watch it on the app, you can Google it here on YouTube. Some people have sent me links. I just don't know how long those are going to be up. So I would say if they're out there right now, you better hurry up and watch them, because YouTube will be taking them down. Fox is really, really hardcore on copyright violation, and that's a big one. So I'm sure they have their people searching for that right now, because they know people are going to be wanting to watch it, because a lot of people can't watch it. Sorry, Amy. I know, I always forget. I always just want to call you Fort Walton Beach Girl. Amy, I'm sorry. Pamela says, you think Ivy will find out that Kai planned the shooting and turn on him? I think that would be really good. I would love that. Ralph says Allison Pill's newest movie is Goon 2, and she's from Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which I haven't seen, but I think as terrible as Ivy is, as much as I dislike her character, I think Allison is doing a really, really good job. Fred's asking where I see this season going. It's something I kind of addressed in my video from last night. I definitely still do not expect a giant twist like Roanoke, and I think a lot of people are still expecting that. I don't. I think they've kind of set the standard with how this season's going, and everything is pretty like forthcoming, and they're laying everything out there, and I don't think they're going to do like a massive plot twist. I do still think we'll have twists. We've already had some. I think we'll have more, but I definitely think it's all going to come down to Allie, especially with what Ryan said about Allie and Kai being a love story for the ages. So we've got to come back to those two. That's going to be the pivotal part of the ending. Will be with those two. And I think everyone else is going to, I honestly think everyone will be dead at that point. So I think we will come down to the two of them. And I personally see Allie living and Kai dying. That's what I think. Gokai says Francis Conroy is in a separate cult of witches. He's wondering if Coven is going to be connected to next week. I had a few people ask me if they were trying to hint at Coven I don't know. I really can't tell from the promo, but someone earlier in the chat said that she was playing the Solanas character in present day, so that would make her not a witch. So I don't know, because I haven't read anything about that. Gina says maybe Meadow wanted to kill Ivy because of Kai's repeat "you're a bright star" conversation with Ivy. Yeah, definitely, but she didn't succeed, so. Marissa says when Kai said he wanted to be national, you thought he'd be president of the U.S. by the end. Well, that's another way to look at it, and that could just kind of tie into Ryan's thoughts about the current president of the U.S. So, yeah, I mean, I think that would be good. I like that, actually. I think that would be a good ending. And in that case, I think he lives. I don't think anyone kills him. Fred's asking about connections to past seasons. Outside of Twisty, I don't know. You guys let me know if you saw anything else so far. Pamela says you think someone probably is going to kill off most of the cult, just like Freak Show members were killed off in season 4. I definitely see Ivy dying, Gary, Harrison, the detective. They're all dead. You know, Beverly, I see her going. Lewis can't wait for Frances Conroy. This will be her 6th season. Yes, she's amazing. Good to see her again. Tobin just got the notification on your phone. Funny, I know it's definitely not working because for some reason I get the notifications when I'm live and I never got that notification. Like, I need to remind myself that I'm actually live when I'm already live. No, but yeah, something's not right. I've talked to a few other people and they're having issues, people who make YouTube videos. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait it out. That's usually how these things work. Thankfully, live chats are working and you guys are still seeing my videos, even though there's maybe a delay. But just YouTube issues. Hashtag YouTube issues. I love you, says Black Robes on next episode. Do you think that confirms the Coven connection? Nick says you bet Cher is mad that her son has a Make America Great Again hat on. The irony is strong there because I don't think Chaz is on that team, you know, for Donald, but it's funny. I think they do it just to be funny. Amy says someone asked if I think that was Ivy when Allie was in the bathroom. Yeah, I mean, she said I think definitely it was Ivy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ralph says Meadow was crazy and regardless would have killed herself. Yeah, she was insane. She was so funny, so I really enjoyed that. But all of these people who are in a cult, just like people who are in actual cults, have issues. They need to be loved and accepted, and there's something not quite right, obviously. So all of these people are very damaged people who were looking for acceptance from a weird place. And you know, like, it's been weird. Like, Meadow was willing to do anything for Kai, even though she really knew he didn't really care about her. So it's just kind of a really sad situation. But it happens all the time in real life cults where people are doing insane things for the cult leader just to gain their acceptance or whatever, and they're just going to die. So the person in charge doesn't even freaking care, you know. Tobin wants to know why she stole from the restaurant. I only think she stole because it was to make the audience laugh. I don't think she thought she was going to live. I think she just wanted to do it because it was funny, and it was funny, and it made me laugh. Wentworth says, do I think Beverly is going to try to become the leader of the cult, but Kai kills her? Absolutely, 100% think that's going to happen. Megan, is asking about the mask with arms coming out of it was a character from Roanoke. I don't know. I definitely watched that, but I don't remember that. Can anyone answer that question? Mr. ZTV says, do I think it looks like they're trying to blame Allie on the shooting because Beverly asked the cameraman to zoom in so Meadow wasn't in shot of the camera? You know, that's a good point. I personally took it as she wanted to give FaceTime to Kai to get his face out there and to get, you know, people interested in voting for him and seeing him and just kind of get him in the minds of viewers. Ralph says Ivy's elephant donkey mask is an indication that she's conflicted. It can go either way. I think that's a really good point because even though she may have voted for a certain party, I think as a person, she's very messed up and very, very conflicted. Gokai says, you love the shout outs from Roanoke in this season. A nod to the butcher in Roanoke like at Ivy's restaurant. Yes, that is cool. Yes, I saw it. Yes, there you go. I see your comment. Tobin says you wonder what did the rest of the cult know about Kai and Meadows' plan to shoot up the place? I'm not so sure. I was trying to figure out if they knew what they knew about that because remember, the detective and Harrison dumped her body in the hole. So I feel like they weren't informed, like they thought she needed to be killed or buried alive or whatever. And Kai kind of had this agreement with, he wanted her to go away because I don't think they knew. He wanted her to go away and they thought she escaped or they didn't know where she was. I don't know. But actually, I'm getting confused here because, okay, so she got out of the grave and then, okay, they kidnapped her, right? It's so confusing. Sometimes the time jumping is really confusing, but I don't think they knew that she had a little pact with Kai. We still don't know the actual origin of the pinky swear thing, and I think we will get more of that from the future. I don't know where that's coming from. I'm wondering if that's coming from, like, maybe Kai's parents were really messed up. Somebody taught Kai that, and I think we'll get the origin of that because we don't really have that, but that's been such a big player throughout the whole season. Amy says Kai hogtied her up after she got pissed. Yeah, okay. Right, but he was just kind of playing with her because he wanted to discuss, like, their big plan or whatever. Carol says Allie ended conversation with Ivy immediately. Samuel and Harrison were at Kai's home with Ivy, but again, a moment later, they were having sex at Harrison's house when Allie, yeah, I know, but I do ever get confused with it. I feel like the time jumping has been a lot, like, in this season, where I'm having to, it's almost like a How to Get Away with Murder, where I'm trying to figure out, like, where the heck are we? Marissa asks, do you think they will discover Kai's parents' bodies? It's so funny to me how this is similar to something that happened in Mr. Mercedes. It's just so similar. It's creepy. I mean, that's weird to me. Like, I think we talked about this before, but that's one of the reasons I'm having trouble with that story, because if the parents did anything, had some kind of job, left their house, had relatives, went outside their house, the neighbors knew them, how did nobody think, like, where the heck are these people? And why didn't anyone go into that house, which I guess, did anyone live there at the time? Like, why didn't anyone check on them, think, like, this is weird, we need to check on them, or call police to check on them? It's weird to me that someone can just disappear, two people can disappear, and no one ever questions, like, where the heck did those people go? I don't know. I think it's weird, because even, like, in Mr. Mercedes, which I won't give away, when someone ended up being missing who was murdered, someone came around like, I haven't seen this woman in a while, like, where the heck is she? And this person didn't have a lot of friends, but I think even if you don't have any friends, Mr. ZTV, don't say that. Even if you don't have a lot of friends or family or whatever, you know, for the most part, unless you're brand new, like in a neighborhood or something, people will realize, like, oh my God, like, I haven't seen so-and-so for weeks. Tobin. You guys, I know everyone has someone who cares about them. Someone would be wondering, like, where the heck is this person? Even if it was online. I know his parents probably weren't online, but, like, younger people would be like, where the heck are these people? They haven't tweeted. Like, I'm concerned, you know? Charles said the story is getting very complex and you're loving it. Yes, I think it's really, really, really good. Marissa says you assumed they still lived in Kai's parents' home. Are you talking about Kai? Where does he live now? Wait, are they still living there? That is confusing. Because we saw them in the very beginning in a house, Kai and Winter. Are they still living in the house with dead people? Isn't that weird? I mean, they're weird, but Tobin doesn't need no friends. Don't need no friends. Yes, so we have the Riverdale premiere tonight. I know a lot of you guys watched that. It's season 2, so if you haven't watched it, it's a really good show. And we have Mr. Mercedes, which are actually on at the very same time. And I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do about that because I have to watch both. And I really want to watch Mr. Mercedes first, to be honest. But I can't watch them both at the same time. So I'll just, DVR one of them. But anyway, I got to figure out how I'm going to handle that. But I will have more videos coming up tonight. Pamela wants the doctor to be on Allie's side. I'm with you. I want that. I want that to be a twist, Wentworth doesn't understand who the guy hanging on hooks. Oh, like the Gimp guy? I don't quite get why that was in there, but does anyone have any ideas of why that was even included? I don't know. I don't know if it was just to be weird or in the house with the dead parents. You thought they showed the door with the flowers outside of the flashback. So apparently, yeah, I would think they probably still live there. But what? Marissa says you thought they lived in... God, you know how nasty that place would smell? I know they poured some stuff on the bodies, but... And I know Riverdale is boring. Sometimes I think it is. To be completely honest, I think some of the episodes were a little bit boring last year. It's not my favorite show of all time, but, Ralph says Scream Season 3 is shaping up to be good. They're using the ghost face mask, which is huge, because I don't know why they didn't use that from the beginning. Riverdale isn't supernatural. It's based on the Archie comics, and it's a mystery. You know, people are dying, things like that, kind of like all the other stuff. But it's not hardcore. It's more like high school. It's not like crazy violence like this. Mateo says the only characters who haven't had a centric episode are Colton Haynes and Winter. The only thing we really know is that she's Kai's sister and not much more. And you want to know Allie's full backstory. I do too, but I feel like Allie's backstory will be coming near the very end and not anytime soon, because I think she's probably, whatever that is, I think there's something huge involved in her story, so I'm excited for that. Charles says Allie needs to pack her bags and leave town, leave Ozzy behind. He's the cult's son now. That's funny. I saw someone talking about that on Twitter. I don't know if that was you, but it was funny. Ralph says the GIMP was used for audience shock factor. That's what I thought. The bodies would eventually stop smelling. That's disgusting. Marissa says you expected to hate Riverdale, but did find it a bit boring the first 3 episodes, but then you were in love as it picked up. Amy says, so Meadow hit him on the leg. I'm confused now. Yes, she shot Kai in the leg because they wanted, you know, he wanted to be shot in a place where he wouldn't die. So yeah, I think the ending with Kai giving that little smirk was like perfect. I thought that was really, really good. Megan says Kai and Winter are living in the parents' house because they did have the door with the flower, and in the corner you can see the stairs with the chair. So if Kai's story is false, you wonder why the flower. I don't know. That's a good point, but I don't know. We'll see. Tobin hates Allie so much. She's getting under your skin. Well, and you're wearing her. That's funny. Well, yeah, but she's had a lot of bad stuff happen to her. But she is annoying. She's just annoying in general. Kind of like Ivy was saying with, like, all of her freaking, like, paranoid issues and stuff. Marissa says they were using lye to stop odors and speed up decomposition of their parents. Yeah, I saw that. I forgot what it was that they were using. But I don't know. I can't imagine that. Maybe that works and you can never smell the people, but I hope I never know. That's disgusting. It's disgusting any way you look at it. Amy says you wonder if Beverly is going to cover for Meadow and pin it on Allie. I would think so. Absolutely. She's savage. Absolutely. The Mocha Peach says you wonder if we're ever going to find out who the GIMP was. I would say no, because I don't know if it really matters unless they want to make that like some twist or something. I don't know. And Wentworth says you think Kai will fail with his plan and makes all the cult members commit suicide. Definitely could, because that happened with the Kool-Aid, which I think one episode is called Drink the Kool-Aid. Maybe someone talked about that here. Where you just make your people kill themselves. So ridiculous. I like Beverly because she's hilarious to me, even though she's really crazy. But she's evil, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so anyway, is there anything else that we have not talked about relating to this episode that we want to talk about before we go here? I, again, love this season. You guys know that. I'm hoping so much that the ending doesn't suck. Sometimes I feel like the endings of American Horror Story go weird places. And I'm just hoping he doesn't have something really off the wall. Like, I felt like the ending to Roanoke was so bizarre. And it was just like, what am I watching? And I'm just hoping that he doesn't take it to some crazy place for the finale that is not even like what we've been watching. Like, I don't know. I just hope he doesn't do that, because I don't always trust Ryan, and I don't know what he might do. So I'm hoping, I don't want to say it's like my favorite season, but so far it has been, but I'm afraid to say that because the ending could just blow up and be awful, and then I'll be like, oh, like, of course. So we'll have to see what happens with that finale, but I think that I'm hoping it'll be really, really good. We have 11, there's 11 total episodes for those of you who asked. But anyway, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate all the support on my channel for this show. If you're new here, please subscribe. I would appreciate it. If you enjoy my reviews of American Horror Story, give this a thumbs up. I won't be doing a chat about the unedited version because I have a video up about that where you can see my thoughts, and since it really wasn't that different, there's not a whole lot to say about it. I didn't know how different it would be, but it's not that different. Okay, but anyway, I'll definitely have a lot more stuff coming up regards to Riverdale and Mr. Mercedes, so make sure that you either look at my Twitter or that's where I'll be announcing everything, or follow me there. and have the notifications on and all of that good stuff. But I hope you're having a great week, and I'll see you guys tonight for those of you who watch like Riverdale and Mr. Mercedes with more videos. Have a great day or evening, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.